Hey, so you're looking for some free podcast hosting, and in this video, I'm going to dive in with you about your best hosting options and how you can host for free. Hi, my name is Luis Congdon, co-host of Thriving Launch Podcast. We do 5 figures a month with our podcast. It's a 5-day-a-week show, and I'm excited to dive in with you today. All right, so you're looking for free podcast hosting. Now, I've tried tons of different hosting services. I've been offered free memberships, and I want to tell you something. If you want free podcast hosting, probably the easiest way that you're going to do that is by trying some sort of trial membership with something like SoundCloud or Podbean or Libsyn or Blubrry. But here's the problem. SoundCloud and Podbean do offer some free hosting, but it's limited. With SoundCloud, you're going to get 6 hours of free podcast hosting. And then after that, if you want to produce more content on their platform and host it on their platform, you're going to need to pay for it. SoundCloud is one of the lower cost options, but you will need to pay for it after a while. Podbean, similar thing. You're going to get a free trial for a little bit of time. And then if you want to try it longer and use their services for longer, you will need to pay. So that leaves you with your website. You can host it on your own website. It's a total pain to host on your website, and I don't recommend it. And even then, you're actually still paying for the hosting because you need to pay for website hosting and URL hosting. And so even if you host your podcast on your own website, which is the cheapest and lowest cost way to do it, it's going to be difficult. So what options are you left with? In my opinion, if you're looking for podcast hosting and you're looking to produce a podcast that gets you more listens, more business, more brand awareness, relationships with potential clients, leads, and allows you to thrive and get your message out to the world, then my number one recommendation for your podcast hosting is going to be SoundCloud, Podbean, Blubrry, and then you've got Libsyn. SoundCloud is not one that I really recommend unless it's an additional hosting service that you want to use to get more exposure, but not a lot of people are listening to podcasts with SoundCloud. So it can work, but it's not the best resource. For one reason is you can't automate your when your shows go out. So if you have a show and you want it to go out at 3 in the morning, it's not going to go out on 3 in the morning unless you're awake at 3 in the morning. So that leaves you with Podbean. For me, Podbean is my preferred service. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles and the most fancy technology, but it works. And if you're a podcaster and you want to really podcast and do it well, my number one recommendation is Podbean for various reasons. One is you can automate, you can send to YouTube completely free. You can have your MP3 sent right over to YouTube with an image put into it. You can automate the days that it goes out. You can see the stats, and not only that, it's one of the lowest cost options. So I think it's fantastic. After that, if you don't like Podbean or you want to try something else, you've got Blubrry. Blubrry is a little bit more expensive, and if you're watching this video on free podcast hosting, it's going to be my guess that you're either looking for free or lowest cost options for your podcast with the maximum benefit. Blubrry is fantastic. They've got great hosting. They've got the best customer service I've ever seen. So if you're really serious about podcasting, but you're technologically challenged, Blubrry is a great option because they're going to give you a fair amount of support. That being said, I still highly recommend you give Podbean a chance because with the link below, you're actually going to get 2 free months of hosting, and on top of that, it's only $9 a month, so you can try it for a few months. If you need more support or it's not working for you, you can go somewhere else. But in my opinion, Podbean has been the easiest source for podcast hosting. It's free for a little while, but I really think that it's your best option. So there it is, free podcast hosting and what I think you should do for your podcast. Now, if you'd like to learn more about podcasting and how to really utilize podcasting to rev up your message, to get it out to the world, to help you land, guest spots on blogs, more spots on other podcasts, having more people listen to your show. If you really want to crush it with podcasting, I've got a free, awesome resource for you. So at paidtopodcast.com, you can see the link right here, paidtopodcast.com, or grab the link down below. And at paidtopodcast.com, we're going to show you how to dial in your podcast, how to get started, how to crush it with your show. Not only that, it's completely free to you. So I'll see you over at paidtopodcast.com. This is Luis Congdon signing out.